electoral reforms, finance, and civil service, government organization, and professional regulation. This committee hearing is now called to order. We'd like to acknowledge the presence of Senator Robin Hood Padilla, and likewise the online presence of Senator Bong Revilla. And also, we'd like to thank our resource persons present today. Physically present are Congressman Wiltor Palma of Zamboanga, Sibugay. Thank you, sir, for being with us. Congressman Carlito Marquez of 1st District of Aklan. Thank you for being with us. And last but not the least, Congressman Oscar Malapitan of the 1st District of Caloocan with the barangay officials of Bagong Silang. Virtually present are Congressman Alfonso Umali of Oriental Mindoro, Congressman Cynthia Sindican of Lapu-Lapu City, Congressman Marjorie Ann Teodoro of Marikina City, Congressman Michael Groseta of 2nd District of Iloilo, and Congressman Roman Romulo of the Lone District of Pasig City. So let me, at this juncture, the Chair recognizes Attorney Jake Rubin Fernandez, our Committee Secretary, to formally acknowledge the resource persons for today.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mr. Chair. For our resource persons, we have from the Department of Interior and Local Government, or the DILG, we have ASEC Donnie Puno. From the National Philippine Statistics Authority, we have Mr. Raul Ludovice. From the DENR, or the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, we have Engineer Ignacio Almira Jr. And we have Engineer Jenaline Verbo, Engineer Liza May Peralta. And from National Mapping and Resource Information Authority, Engineer Renato Esperanza. From the DPWH, or the Department of Public Works and Highways, we have Attorney John Alexander Belderol. From the Department of Labor and Employment, or DOLE, we have Yusek Felipe N. Engargo Jr., virtually present.
Good morning, everybody.
From the Department of Finance, we have virtually present Ms. Brenda L. Miranda and Ms. Loris Jane Navarro. From the Department of Budget and Management, or the DBM, virtually present also Ms. Lenin S. Bernaldez, Ms. Maricor U. Bakyal, Attorney Carlos Borja Jr., and from the Civil Service Commission, we have Attorney Jennifer Timbol, and virtually present also, we have Attorney Eileen Lourdes Lizada, Commissioner Lizada. From the Commission on Elections, we have virtually Director Clinis Tamondong and Director Divina Blas Perez. For our other government officials, from the leagues, we have League of Provinces Philippines. We have Miss Angelica Sanchez, virtually present as well. From the province of Negros Oriental, we have virtually the representative, Attorney Richard R. Enojo. That's all for me.
Thank you, our ComSec. Today we will hear the following bills. First, the bills on the Negros Island region filed by Senate President Subiri, Gatchalian, Revilla Jr., Lapid, and by this representation. Second, House Bill number 5819, or Division of Barangay 176, or the Barangay Bagong Silang in the city of Caloocan into 6 separate and independent barangays, introduced by Congressman Oscar Malapitan. Third on our agenda are the following local holiday bills. Senate Bill number 1681, or the Araw ng Pasig Act by Senator Lito Lapid. House Bill number 925, Araw ng Pasig by Congressman Roman Romulo. House Bill number 694, Ginayangan Quezon Founding Anniversary by Congressman Keith Maykatan. House Bill 2725, Araw ng Oriental Mindoro by Representative Alfonso Umali Jr. House Bill number 3966, Cuenca Foundation Day by Congressman Maria Teresa Colliantes. House Bill number 3967, Santa Maria Province of Davao Occidental Foundation Day by Congressman Claude Bautista. House Bill number 3970, Calibo Foundation Day by Congressman Carlito Marquez. House Bill number 3976, Kaadlawan Nin Birak by Congressman Eulogio Rodriguez. House Bill number 3977, Araw ng Sibugay by Representative Wilter Palma. House Bill number 3978, Marikina City Day by Congressman Marjorie Ann Teodoro. House Bill number 4839, Lapu-Lapu Charter Anniversary by Congresswoman Maria Cynthia Chan. And last but not the least, House Bill number 5843, Pavia Day by Representative Michael Goroseta. Finally, the following bills amending the Local Government Code of 1991 creating mandatory offices in local government units, Senate Bill number 1638, or the creation of the office of the building official in all provinces, cities, and municipalities filed by this representation, and Senate Bill numbers 1245 and 1389, or creating a mandatory position for a Human Resource Management Officer in all local government units, filed by Senator Coco Pimentel and by Senator Bong Revilla Jr. The Chair would like to thank our resource persons for attending our hearing today. We opted to include again in today's hearing the bills creating the Negros Island region to get the position of the local officials and of other national government agencies like NEDA. We are in receipt of a letter sent by Governor Roel Degamo stating that the two Negros provinces involved, Negros Oriental and Negros Occidental, are currently engaged in negotiations about this matter. The Chair takes note of this and consider it a good development. We look forward to hear about the efforts of our local government officials, to commend them for initiating such effort in order to promote the welfare of their constituents. For its part, the committee commits to carefully study this measure and recommend a version that best reflects the interest of the constituents of Negros Island. For our local bills, we shall take up several local holiday bills, and we thank our honorable colleagues from the House of Representatives for joining us today. We shall also hear House Bill number 5819, which proposes the division into 6 separate barangays of the biggest barangay in the Philippines. That is Barangay Bagong Silang in Caloocan City. The Chair looks forward in hearing the position of the agencies and the bill's author, Congressman Oka Malapitan. Just last week, this committee was able to pass on third reading the Charter of the City of Carmona. Before its passage, we realized the need of creating certain local offices and positions to promote efficiency in the service delivery of our local government units. Today, we shall begin hearing legislative proposals to this end, beginning with Senate Bill number 1638, creating the Office of the Building Official, and Senate Bill numbers 1245 and 1389, proposing the mandatory position for a Human Resource Management Officer in all local government units. We thank our resource person and look forward for a fruitful discussion this morning. Again, thank you very much. And we'd like to thank Senator Robin Hood Padilla, who is always here very early. Thank you, Senator Robin Hood. Might want to say something? Baka may nais kayong sabihin.
A'udhu billahi minasyaitanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Isang magandang umaga po sa aking iniidolong senador, ang kasama kong katipunero, at ang sa tagapagtanggol at bayani po ng mga rider, at ang inspirasyon namin sa dieting, Senator J.V. Hercito. Isang magandang umaga po sa lahat po ng mga kasama nating mambabatas. Isa pong karangalan sa akin na makasama po kayong lahat, at ng akin pong pamangkin ko ito eh. Oo, mabuhay pamangkin. Ako po makikinig sa pagdinig na ito. Dapat yun po kasi ang papel namin, makinig, hindi mag-sermon. At ako po ay natutuwa sapagkat ito pong talakayan na ito, mahal na senador, ay may kinalaman po sa Negros. Ang akin pong isa sa mga kamag-anak po namin, ipinangalan po sa kanya ang isang bayan dyan sa Negros Occidental, ang Moises Padilla. Kaya po ako po ay ganadong-ganado na dumalo dito dahil gusto ko pong madinig talaga kung ano ang plano sa Negros. Dahil sa matagal na panahon, ang Negros po ay naging simbolo ng kahirapan. Maaring siguro po sa pagkakataong ito at ito po ay maisabatas at maiskatuparan, ito na po yung daan tungo sa kanyang pag-unlad. Dahil alam niyo po, mahal na tagapangulo, gusto po natin yung ganito talaga, na nagsasama-sama ang mga probinsya. Tungo po ito sa, inshallah, kapag sinuportahan po ako ng mga katulad nating senador, madagdagan ng otonomiya sa konstitusyon. Maraming salamat po, mahal na tagapangulo.
Maraming salamat din, Senator Robin Hood Padilla, no? Talagang iba-ibang yung pinanggalingan mo. May Bicol, may Nueva Ecija, meron din Negros. No, yung Moises Padilla, tama nga po. Actually, ikaw ang naging inspirasyon dito mula nang dumating ka rito. Parang hirap na kumain tuloy. Papapalayo, wag naman masyado malayo. Di ba, aminado namang ikaw talagang rito. Idolo. Anyway, as stated earlier, the committee received a letter from Governor Roel Digamo of Province of Negros Oriental stating that the two Negros provinces, Negros Oriental and Negros Occidental, are currently undergoing talks regarding the creation of the Negros Island region. Kasi problema talaga doon sa Negros Island, Negros Occidental, and Negros Oriental. Yung Negros Occidental, ang regional offices, national offices, is found in Iloilo. No, kumbaga tatawid pa sila pag may kinakailangan, no? Lahat po ng Bacolod, sila ay lahat pumupunta pa ng Iloilo. Yun naman, Negros Oriental, papuntang sa Cebu naman. So, napakahirap dahil nasa Cebu City, from Dumaguete, tatawid sila ng Santander ba? Tapos 4 hours pa ang trip papuntang Cebu City. So, ang ating alayunin, magkaroon na ng isang Negros Island region to make it more convenient for both Negros Occidental, Negros Oriental, for the operation and for the convenience of the services, para mas mapaganda ang serbisyo ng mapabilis, no? Magkaroon na ng sariling region. Anyway, for the position, as I mentioned, meron pong position na Negros Oriental, but we will be hearing the positions of both provinces, no? First, we like to acknowledge the representative of Governor Digamo, Attorney Richard Enojo, Provincial Administrator, and again, the representative of Governor Digamo. Okay, so if Attorney Richard Enojo is online, please, we would like to hear already the position of Negros Oriental. Before that, sorry, Senator Bong Revilla is likewise online, and he would like to make his opening statement before we proceed to Attorney Richard Enojo. Sen Bong Revilla, are you online? Oo nga eh. Napaligiran ako ng mga gwapo
Thank you,
rito.
Mr. Chair. Hindi, mas pogi ka. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat at siyempre sa ating napakasipag din na kaibigan, Senator Robin Hood Padilla. Salamat sa aking kaibigan, sa ating chairperson, Senator J.B. Ejercito, sa agarang pagpapatawag ng pagdinig na ito. Buo po ang ating suporta sa mga hakbang na magiging tulay pang upang mas maayos na mapadaloy sa bawat sulok ng bansa ang mga pampublikong serbisyo. At isang paraan para tuluyan nating makamit ito ay ang pagtututok sa ating mga lokal na pamahalaan. Kaya naman naghain po ang inyong lingkod ng panukalang makakatulong sa mas mabisang pamamalakad sa ating local government units o LGUs. Isa po rito ang pagkakaroon ng mandatory human resource management officer sa bawat LGU sa ilalim ng Senate Bill number 1389 na isa sa mga tatalakayin sa araw na ito. I'm also thankful that another measure that is representation filed is part of this Honorable Committee's agenda today, the creation of Negros Island Region under Senate Bill number 1422. Ang mga LGUs ang katuwang natin sa pagpapadaloy ng serbisyo publikong naghahangad na paginhawahin ang pamumuhay ng ating mga kababayan. We must therefore always endeavor to legislate measures that would ultimately allow them to enjoy genuine and meaningful local autonomy that will enable them to attain their fullest development as self-reliant communities. Lastly, Mr. Chair, I would like to express my full support for the approval of the bills that that declare local holidays in our LGUs, creation of the Office of the Building Officials in all provinces, cities, and municipalities, as well as the measure proposing to divide Barangay Bagong Silang in the city of Caloocan into 6 separate independent barangays. Taking into account intentions of these pieces of legislation, I sincerely look forward for the swift passage of the same. Kaya, Chairman, thank you very much at mabuhay po kayo. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Bong Revilla. Maraming salamat sa iyong mga pinasang panukala, no? Dalawa, yung creation of Negros Island Region and also creation of the Office of the Human Resource Management Office. Salamat sa iyong, dahil isa kang dating gobernador, kaya naintindihan mo rin siguro yung mga pangangailangan ng ating local government. So on how we will be able to improve the services. So thank you very much, Sen Bong, for filing these bills that are intended to improve the services of our local governments. Anyway, going back to the Negros Island region, the chair would like to call Attorney Richard Hinojo, representative of Governor Roel Digamo of Negros Oriental. Attorney Hinojo, you have the floor.
Good morning, Senator Ejercito. Good morning to Senators Revilla and Padilla, and to all the other resource persons present today. With me are the OIC Provincial Legal Officer of the Province of Negros Oriental and Legal Officer Attorney Kim Flores. First of all, would like to apologize for the absence of the good governor today because as early as last month, he was already committed to a very important engagement today. That's why he is sending us today to appear before this hearing today. First of all, would like to convey to this honorable committee that this is the second time that the Negros Island has been dreamed of being created as one region, Region 18. That was during the time of Pinoy, and in fact, there was an initial creation of some regional offices in Bacolod. And so we thought that would be realized, only to be told that it did not push through because the new administration doesn't want to continue the creation of Region 18. This time, the first time that we know that there is again another move to create a new region composed of the provinces of Negros Occidental and Negros Oriental. And considering that the proposed creation would certainly dictate the destiny of our future generation, that's why currently the two provinces represented by the respective governors have initial talks on how we can best create Region 18 for us. There were already proposals made by Governor Digamo to Governor Lacson last week. Governor Lacson came over to Dumaguete to convey also his sentiment about the proposed creation of Region 18 affecting Occidental and Oriental part of Negros Island. And it is the agreement of both governors that they have to discuss their proposals with their respective constituents, and they will be meeting soon after they shall get the sentiment from their respective constituents. We are under instructions not to elaborate further the proposals and counter proposals until such time that the two provinces have finally agreed, and that's the time we shall disclose the terms and conditions which they think are important to be considered in the creation of Region 18. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Attorney Richard Hinojo. Again, please convey to our Governor Digamo our regards, and be rest assured that this committee will be hearing this already, but we will also wait for the decision of both provinces. No, I know that there's ongoing talks, negotiations already about the creation of the NIR or the Negros Island region, and we will respect that. But after this, we will already go to the technical working group so that in case you have already decided to, or there's a compromise or agreement, ay mas madali na natin maisulong po ito. But be rest assured, please convey to Governor Digamo that we will of course take into consideration the position of Negros Oriental and the provincial leadership. Please convey that that we will hindi po natin babaliwalay. Iintayin po natin din ang inyo pong magiging usapan ng Negros Occidental. Maraming salamat po. Please convey our
Yes, Senator,
regards to Governor Digama. Dagang salamat.
Yes, Senator.
Next is Attorney Ray Frando Diaz, the Administrator and Representative of Governor Bong Lacson of the province of Negros Occidental. Attorney Ray Frando Diaz, if you're online, you now have the floor. Since he's not yet online, the chair would like to acknowledge or give the floor already to ASEC Greg Pineda of NEDA. ASEC Greg Pineda of NEDA.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Well, NEDA is the position of NEDA is as follows. It is not inclined to support the creation of Negros Island region, primarily because of the huge budgetary requirements owing to the administration of a new region, no? And I think given the tight fiscal position that we are in now, it is better that such funding support be given to socioeconomic progression projects that will benefit the two provinces of Negros Occidental and Negros Oriental. Per estimate, in 2014, when the first bill was filed on this, Mr. Chairman, an estimate of 40 billion annually for the next 3 years of the creation, and that pertain to the PSNMO requirements of a new region. So, given the vast requirement, again, NEDA is not inclined to support the creation of a new region. But of course, consideration also on efficiency in the delivery of services. I think one option that can be considered, an alternative to the regional office creation, is the establishment of satellite offices, which seem to be more efficient. And of course, some cost-benefit analysis will still be made for that. But just for the purposes of making sure that this national government services are closer to the people. Another consideration, Mr. Chair, is the ethno-linguistic and socio-cultural orientations of Negros Oriental and Negros Occidental. We know that Negros Oriental facing the Tano Strait is more oriented to Cebu and Region 7, while Negros Occidental is predominantly Hiligaynon speaking and is more oriented to Iloilo province. So another contentious area might be the proposed regional government center. And again, of course, that can be discussed further. And again, the main issue, Mr. Chair, is really the funding and the source of funding for implementation. And we suggest that DBN be consulted first on this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ASEC Greg Pineda. Thank you very much for stating the position of your agency, but also to address your concern, DBM. We have also invited DBM to share their position in today's hearing.
Morning, Mr. Chair.
Yes, please proceed.
Sir, the Department of Budget and Management in our official position paper submitted to the House Committee on Local Government dated November 18, 2022. Our general comment is that we recommend further study of the bills. In addition to what the representative of NEDA mentioned, we would like to raise for consideration the current fiscal position of the national government due to muted revenues and high deficit resulting in the current tight fiscal position and the adoption of a fiscal consolidation strategy. The aim to gradually back the deficit to its pre-pandemic levels will result in a tighter fiscal space in the medium term, but will ensure sustainability in the long run. Since the bills would require huge funding implications. Although we understand that the bills are well-meaning, this should be balanced with the government's fiscal capacity, which is the key to sustaining our priority programs. So we would like to also, we want the senators or our legislators to consider this as well. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Attorney Carlos Borja of DBM. But I'd just like to inform the agencies, DEDA and DBM, that this bill, the Negros Island Region, is a LEDAC priority bill. No? So pinagkasundan po ito ng legislative and executive department. So I know we have a tight fiscal space, but if this will improve the efficiency and the delivery of services, I think that is what is more important more than anything. So we thank our resource persons for their insights on the Negros Island Region bills. The chair requests our resource persons to send the written position papers to the committee secretary. We shall now refer Senate Bill numbers 89, 812, 1236, 1422, and 1469 to the TWG. Next on our item is House Bill number 5819 or Division of Barangay 176. Barangay Bagong Silang in the city of Caloocan into 6 separate and independent barangays. So it's the biggest barangay in the country. No? Napakalaki talaga nito. Parang malaki pa ito sa San Juan. Anyway, we have here today Representative Oscar Malapitan. Probably, Kong Oka, you may now, if you have any statement, you now have the floor.
Sige ho, maraming salamat Mr. Chairman. Sa ating mga kasapi ng komisyon, sa lahat ng ating mga kasamahan at panauhin na nagsipagdalo ngayong araw na ito. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Mr. Chair, House Bill number 5819 which seeks to subdivide Barangay 176 into 6 and independent barangays is not our maiden attempt to push for this proposed measure to become a law. Sa katunayan po, ito ay naihain na ang panukalang batas na ito noong 15th Congress at pinagtibay ng Kamara hanggang sa ikatlong pagbasa. Sa kasamaang palad, hindi naman ito napagtibay sa Senado dahil sa kakulangan ng panahon. Kaya ako po ay lubos na nagpapasalamat sa ating mahal na chairman, Senator JB, dahil sa unang pagkakataon pa lamang ito'y binigyan na ng pagpapahalaga sa inyong committee. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chair, Your Honor, para sa kaalaman at gabay ng lahat, ang Barangay 176 na kilala din sa pangalang Barangay Bagong Silang ang siyang pinakamalaking barangay sa buong Pilipinas. Ito ay may populasyon na 261,729 katao, katumbas ng 15.75% na kabuuang populasyon ng lungsod ng Caloocan. Ayon sa 2020 census at population ng Philippine Statistics Authority at base naman sa 2015 census, ito ay mayroong 55,087 kabahayan na mas malaki sa maraming bayan ng ilang distrito dito sa bansa. Ito po ay may sukot na 5.24 square kilometers, katumbas ng 10% ng kabuoang lupain ng aming lungsod. At ngayon, fiscal year 2022, ang Barangay 176 ay nakakatanggap ng 274,922,000 national tax allotment at 234,432,089 para sa kasalukuyang taon. Subalit, sa halip na magsilbing biyaya at napakalaking populasyon, ang kasama ay napakalawak na lupain ay nagsilbing malaking hadlang sa agarang pag-unlad ng barangay. Ito ay nagbigay ng lubos ng pagpapasakit sa mga opisyales sa pagsunod at pagtalima sa mga patakaran, polisiya at programa ng iba't ibang ahensya ng pamahalaan, lalo na ang pagbibigay ng ayuda sa mga kapuspalad nitong mamamayan dahil sa kasalukuyan ang sapat na kawani hindi naging madali ang pagkakaroon ng maayos na pamamalakad at pamamahala sa larangan ng pagpapanatili ng kaayusan at kapayapaan. Mabilis ang responde sa oras ng sakuna at kalamidad at sa pagtugon ng ibang mandato nito. May mga sektor na hindi naabutan ng agaran, sapat at pantay-pantay na serbisyo at ito'y malimit mangyari sa mga panahon ng kalamidad. Ang aming naging karanasan sa ilalim ng kasalukuyang pandemya kung saan daang katao ang nasawi at libong pamilya ang naghihikahos sa namahirapan ang siyang pinakamalaking dahilan upang aming ipanakala ang House Bill number 5819. Mr. Chair, esteemed colleague, nasa likod ko po ang buong... ba? Ha? Nandiyan dyan na ho sa baba ang council ng Barangay 176 at magpapahayag rin ng kanilang suporta sa ating nasabing bill. Ito'y pinangunahan ni Barangay Captain Joel Bacolod. Ako po ay nagbibigay sa inyong committee ng CP ng kanilang resolution ng pagsuporta kasama ng ibang mga dokumento tulad ng PSA Certificate of Population Count, Subdivision Map, and Estimated Population of each proposed barangay bilang pagpapatunay na kanilang pagnanais na maging ganap na batas ang aming panukala. Sa kadahilanang ito ay aking hinihiling at dinadalangin ang mahal na suporta ng ating chairman at maging ng bawat member ng committee para sa dagliang pagsapit ng pagpapatibay ng House Bill number 5819. Ang National Barangay Election po ay darating sa Oktubre, taon kasalukuyan, na kung saan ay pinipilit sana namin o tinitignan namin na maihabol natin ito bago magkaroon ng barangay election. Batid ko po na magkakaroon po tayo ng referendum once na mapagtibay ito sa Senado at ang pamahalang lungsod ng Caloocan ay nakahanda na gumastos sa national election kung sa national ay nakahandang gumastos sa referendum. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Maraming salamat din kay Congressman Oka Malapitan. So ang susunod po ay pakikinggan po natin ang iba't ibang posisyon ng DILG. Ito po as follows, no? Ang DILG, Philippine Statistics Authority, para po ma-certify ang population ng bawat magiging division ng Barangay 176. DNR, Land Management Bureau, para sa technical description and boundaries of the new barangays. Engineer Ignacio Almira. Ang COMELEC, Director Grinis Tamundong. Ang Department of Finance, BLGF, Ms. Brenda Miranda. And last but not the least, DBM, Ms. Lenin Bersales, Acting Director. So siguro magsimulan tayo sa DILG. Asek Donnie Puno, you are now recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Your Honor. On the part of the DILG, since the intention of this law is to create a new local government unit through a barangay, for so long as there is strict adherence to the prerequisites as stated by the law, the department interposes no objection. We fully support this, and after hearing the population numbers given by the good congressman, we do support this measure, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much.
That was during the time of Pinoy, and in fact,
our regards, and be rest assured that this committee will be hearing this already, but we will also
Ulit. Anyway,
thank you, Attorney Richard Enojo. Again, please convey to our next will be Digamo Philippine Statistics Authority, and be rest assured that this committee will be nag-replay. Anyway, next will be Philippine Statistics Authority to certify the population for the proposed divisions. Ang PSA,
Yes.
Mr. Raul Lodovice.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chair, and
Please turn on your video, please.
Okay.
It will be standard kasi baka hindi namin alam kung ikaw talaga yan.
Sorry po. Actually, I'm on sick leave po, pero just the same, nakaano po ako. I'm attending the meeting. So, again, good morning, Mr. Chair, and the rest of these distinguished guests and senators. So, I would like to state the position of the Philippine Statistics Authority that we do not interpose objection to this bill. So, I would like also to state that based on the 2020 Census of Population and Housing, Barangay 76, which is the biggest barangay in the entire Philippines, had a population of 261,729, and then excuse me, and 59,280 households. So that's almost 60,000 households. Then the estimated population count of the 6 barangays which are proposed to be created are as follows. So Barangay 167A will have approximately 48,914 population. 167B will have 44,365 385 inhabitants. Then Barangay 167A will have 39,640. So Barangay 167D will have 44,048. 167E will have 58,290. And Barangay 167F will have 31,452. So this is way above the minimum population requirement for a barangay to be created. So that's all, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sir Raul Lodovice of PSA. So lahat po ng proposed barangays are above the minimum required, no, for the record. So please submit a certification of population of the proposed barangays to this committee. Before we continue, the chair would like to acknowledge the presence of Senator Francis Tolentino, the former chair of the Committee on Local Government. Sir, you might want to, you have any opening statement?
No opening statement, Mr. Chairman. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to see familiar faces. I am in full support of local autonomy. I'm likewise here to support the barangay creation of subdivision of Barangay 176 in Barangay Bagong Silang, the biggest barangay in the Philippines, a place where I have attended several Christmas parties, for the record, Mr. Chairman. So I'm also in full support of Sambuanga Sibugay and the other local initiatives that would entail enactment into law of various pending bills. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Francis Tolentino, for always supporting the delivery of basic service, the improvement of basic services to local governments. Next will be DNR Land Management Bureau for the technical description and boundaries of the new barangays. Here is Engineer Ignacio Almira Jr. You are now acknowledged, sir. Engineer Ignacio Almira Jr.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Chairman. Likewise, good morning, Congressman Malapitan, and the group from the Caloocan City. The DNR fully supports the creation of 6 barangay of Barangay 176. As I heard kanina, na-comply niya yung requirement for the creation of barangays, kaya the DNR ay nagsusuporta dito sa pag-create na ito. Ang support ng DNR ay more on the technical side, meaning po ay we will survey the area, the 6 barangays as agreed ng mga local governments natin, and then after the survey, we will generate the corresponding maps and we will approve that technical description. Ang technical descriptions ay yun ang gagamitin ngayon doon para sa ating ano. Thank you very much.
So thank you, DNR, Land Management Bureau, Engineer Ignacio Almira. So supportive po kayo no sa hati ng barangay Bagong Silang into 6 separate barangays. So thank you very much. Next will be COMELEC for the conduct of plebiscite. The chair would like to recognize Director Grinis Tamundong of COMELEC.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, and all the resource persons present in this meeting. We would like to manifest, Mr. Chair, that the Commission fully supports House Bill 5819.
Ma'am, before you continue, please turn on your video, please. Para lang alam natin na kayo po talagang nandyan. Please go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Our only concern is Section 3 of the House Bill, which says that the conduct and supervision of the plebiscite shall be within 30 days from the effectivity of this act. Mr. Chair, this is a short period of time for us to prepare fully for the plebiscite in Barangay 176, so that we propose that we be given a period of, just like what we said in our position paper, we be given a period of 120 days, Your Honor, to conduct the plebiscite.
So yun lang pong ano nyo, no? Yung your
Yes.
COMELEC is just requesting for more time, 120 days or
Yes, Your Honor.
about 3 months.
Yes.
But the problem is hinahabol nila ito para sa next barangay election, I think. So what is the fastest, yung pinakamabilis na kakayanin kaya ng COMELEC? Because we are ang concern ni Congressman Malapitan, maihabol itong plebiscite para po by the next election, by October na kasi election natin, ay magiging ano na to, effective po. What do you think is the fastest, yung pinakakaya po ng COMELEC?
Mr. Chair, we have several pending plebiscite also this coming March. So, maybe we could have it 90 days. It is okay to
90
serve.
days po. 90 days. So that's 3
90
months.
days within the effectivity of the act, Your Honor.
Si Congressman Malapitan would just like to say something.
Hello. Baka hindi ho tayo umabot sa national barangay election kung another 60 days. Pero ito, alam na ni COMELEC chairman at ng ibang mga commissioner at sinasabi nila aabot ito kung mapagtitibay kaagad sa Senado. Pero kung mabibinbin ito ng another 60 days dahil yung gagawing pag-aaral ay hindi ho tayo aabot. Magbe-break ang Senate. Thank you.
Senator Tolentino?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. May I ask Congressman Malapitan, is the city government of Caloocan willing to defray some of the expenses to enable COMELEC, perhaps this is the regional office of NCR, help facilitate this? Gagastos na po ang Caloocan. Sila na yung, kung gusto nyo, sila na yung mag-aayos ng presinto, sila na yung mag-pa-imprenta ng, hindi naman to automated eh. Yes or no lang po ito, ma'am. Ma'am Tamundong, are you willing to, ginawa na po to sa ibang probinsya, sa Sarangani, sa ibang lugar, sa Maguindanao, tumulong po yung mga LGUs. Are you willing to accept that proposal? Coming from me. May I ask the response of Congressman Malapitan, pwede bang tumulong kayo sa gastos?
LG, anak ko ang mayor doon. Pag sinabi ng tatay, popondohan niya yon.
So, Ma'am Tamundong, 60 days po with the permission of the chair.
Uh, I will ask my, actually, Director Divine is also here, my boss. Just to be clear, sir, expenses for the conduct of the plebiscite shall be borne fully by the city of Caloocan, sir.
Yes, including personnel. They're willing to
Yes,
assist
sir.
you. Hindi lang yung financial resources, but the manpower to enable you to facilitate the conduct of a plebiscite.
Yes, sir.
Payag po kayo na with the permission of the chair? Ma'am?
The reason why we are asking for a more period of time, Your Honor, is because we will have to, of course, we will have to procure the materials and the supplies needed for the plebiscite.
We can include the provision in the bill that it will be shouldered solely by the LG of Caloocan, as well assist the Commission on Elections with manpower personnel. So that will be part of the law. And if we place there 60 days, you have no choice but to comply with the law. Because the barangay elections would be the last Monday of October of this year. And meron po yan mga prohibitions, public works, etc., etc. All of this will have to be considered. Non-hiring of personnel, etc., etc. Ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor. So, given that, we submit, Your Honor.
Thank you, Senator Tolentino, for being with us. At least, wala nagawa si Comelec. But to comply with 60 days. Just kidding. But thank you very much. For the record, again, the local government of Caloocan will be shouldering already yung physical, personnel, and other needs to conduct the plebiscite. Okay, so next will be DOF and BLGF on the effect on the national tax allotment or NTA of the existing barangays. DOF BLGF is represented by Miss Brenda Miranda. Ma'am, if you're online, you now have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson, and good morning to everyone. I'm here in behalf of our mother agency, the Department of Finance. We will submit our official comments, but generally, with respect to the creation of new barangays, the renaming and the breakup of C2, we interposes no objection. And however, hindi po magsa-certify ang Department of Finance when it comes to the attributes of income. Kasi po hindi naman po applicable yung section 7 of 7960. So wala pong ibibigay na certification ang DOF. Mr. Chairperson.
Thank you po, Ms. Brenda Miranda. Thank you very much. Again, please submit your official position paper to this committee. Last but not the least, DBM. We still have two. DBM, Liga ng Barangay and League of Cities. Next is DBM, Ms. Lenin Bersales, or the acting director. If you're online, ma'am, you now have the floor.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Chair. I would like to
League of Cities.
to Attorney Borja, sir, for DBM's official stand on the matter.
Mr. Chairman, I think she's encountering technical difficulties. Can she unmute?
Good morning, Mr. Chair.
Lisa, go ahead.
For the
Please
Department of
identify
Budget.
yourself.
Yes, sir. My name is Attorney Carlos Borja Jr. for the Department of Budget and Management. And for our general comment, we interpose no objection to the proposed legislative measure, subject to compliance with the provisions of the Local Government Code on the creation of barangays, including the continued compliance with the barangays to the minimum population prescribed and to the inputs of other appropriate agencies with the with functional jurisdiction on the matter. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Attorney Carlos Borja of DBM. There are no more matters to be taken up. House Bill number 5819 is hereby approved in the committee level and will be submitted to the plenary already for deliberation. So before we continue to the local holiday bills, since the respective representatives of the different provinces are here, but the chair would like to suspend the hearing so that we can have a photo op with Congressman Malapitan and wala pa yung barangay officials, no? Congressman Senator Tolentino. Yes, Congressman Malapitan.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and hoping that we can pass the said measure sa lalong madaling panahon para umabot tayo sa barangay election. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Congressman Oscar Malapitan. Basta sinabi ni Kong Oka, sabi sa inyo, approve without thinking, nandito kagad. So, again, since there are no more matters discuss regarding this proposed bill, is now approved in the committee level and will be already ready for the deliberation in the plenary. So,
Thank you,
congratulations in advance. So, the chair would like to suspend the hearing, then we continue already with the next agenda, the local holiday bills. Patawag na yun, wala pa yung mga barangay, wala pa yata.
Andyan na.
Andyan na.
Mr. Chair, may ginagawang ehersito sports complex doon sa inyo ba yun?
Yun yata request yung multi-purpose. Basta sinabi nyo, pero kahit na hindi pangalan sa akin kasi dapat pa sa mga buhay pa, okay lang kahit hindi pa nakapangalan sa atin. Baka, but anyway, anything for Caloocan kasi napakalaki rin ng barangay ng Caloocan. Especially with the 2 districts, no, napakalaki. So, we will always be here to support Caloocan.
Meron pa ho kaming bill, ginagawa naming 4th district na. Pero parang ayaw pa sa Congress dahil kadadagdag lang namin daw.
Kapitan, tsaka yung mga kagawad po, mag-photo op na tayo. Sige po, dito na sa harap. Para maka-move na tayo doon sa, sa mga local bills. adjourn the hearing. We now move on to the local holiday bills. We now, first Hill House Bill number 694 or Ginayangan Quezon Founding Anniversary. We have online Representative Keith Maikatan or the 4th District of Quezon Province. Congressman Doc Maikatan, Mike Tan. Since it's not yet online, we now move on to House Bill number 925 or Araw ng Pasig. We have virtually present is Congressman Roman Romulo. Congressman Roman Romulo, you now have the floor. Wala yata. Wala pa, unahin na natin. We will now go to those who are physically present. And then we will go to
Mr.
the
Chair?
other. Ay, ayun na pala. Sige, after ano. Go ahead, Congressman Romulo.
Ay, Chair JV, magandang umaga po sa inyo at sa lahat ng members po ng committee po. I'm here po to sponsor the measure on Pasig Day. Actually po na-approve na po ang Pasig Day on July 2. Ang nagkulang lang po dyan ay ma-declare po siyang automatic holiday. That is why that is the measure before us, that it be declared automatically a holiday. Taon-taon po actually, the City Hall has to go to the Office of the Executive Secretary to request that it be declared a holiday. And taon-taon naman po nagagrant po yun. But I think it is best na para may automatic na po sana siya.
Thank you, Congressman Romulo. Senator Tolentino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think Congressman Romulo is correct, as well as the other proponents of the measures pending before this committee is concerned, and all those physically present. During the last Congress, the 18th Congress, I was not yet there during the 17th Congress, there were measures approved, but one of our colleagues then was batting for a non-working holiday. During the 18th Congress, I was batting for they were batting for a working holiday. I was egging them to have a non-working special holiday. The reason being is that there is really no detrimental effects to the local economy because the celebration of a holiday in an LGU would support two premises. One, it fosters local autonomy. Two, it bolsters tourism. So any effect that would be imposed on an employer paying double salary or what can be countered by the fact that more tourists will be, for instance, in Calibo, for instance, in Zamboanga, Sibuga, and the same is true with Pasig, can be countered by the presence of local tourists spending, and it augurs well for the post-pandemic society that we are entering right now. So marami kaming sagutan dito ni former Senator Drilon. Halos hindi na palusot yung iba kasi yung sinasabi niya, for the record, alam naman to ng lahat na makakasira sa local economy. But I still maintain that a special local holiday will work well for the local economy. May mga studies po ko ng Department of Labor, Department of Tourism. So I support Pasig to have a special non-working holiday. And for the rest of the applicants here, Mr. Chairman, so we reverse the trend because it is now needed in a post-pandemic Philippines. It is needed to bolster tourism, and it is needed by the local economy. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Tolentino. The chair agrees with you that one of the low-hanging fruits in our country today, low-hanging fruit is the tourism industry that can really stimulate economic growth, no, and especially in the provinces. So, Congressman Romulo, be rest assured that once we finish this hearing today, we will already forward this already for discussion in the plenary. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you, Chair JB, and thank you very much to Senator Tolentino.
Thank you again, Congressman Romulo, for joining us this morning. So next, we move on to the Araw ng Sibugay. The chair now would like to acknowledge Congressman Wilter Palma, who is physically present for your position, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Honorable J.B. Hercito, our good Senator, Tolentino. Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to express our gratitude to the chairman of the Committee on Local Government, J.B. Hercito, for taking time and to tackle this measure. I would like also to thank the members of the Committee on the Secretariat, as well as the resource persons who are here with us today. Mr. Chair, it is noteworthy to mention that this bill was originally filed by then Congressman Sharky Palma during the 17th and 18th Congress, and this bill was passed during the third and final reading during the aforementioned Congresses. However, due to lack of material time, the Senate was not able to pass this measure. Moreover, having heard our good Senator Tolentino, for purposes of clarity, this representation would like to manifest and move that the title of this bill be changed from special working to special non-working. The title of the bill should now read as follows: An act declaring February 24 of every year a special non-working holiday in the province of Zamboanga, Sibugay, to be known as Araw ng Sibugay, in commemoration of its foundation day. In addition, Mr. Chair, Section 1, Line 1, change the word special working holiday to special non-working holiday, and it should now be read as February 24 of every year is hereby declared a special non-working holiday in the province of Zamboanga, Sibugay, to be known as Araw ng Sibugay, in commemoration of its foundation day. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you again, Congressman Wilter Palma. The chair takes note of that and those the amendments. No, of course, it's now special non-working holiday. So that's well noted. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Next will be House Bill number 3970, or the Calibo Foundation Day. With us physically present is Congressman Carlito Marquez, sir. You now have the floor as the sponsor of the measure in the House.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chairman, Senator Joseph Ejercito. Magandang umaga po, Senator Francis Tolentino. Magandang umaga sa members of the Committee on Local Government, Senate, our resource persons and our colleagues. Good morning, everyone. This is an act declaring November 3 of every year a special non-working public holiday in the municipality of Calibo, province of Aklan, to be known as the Calibo Foundation Day. Mr. Chairman, I would like to read the explanatory note to give credence to the historical background and hopefully to convince the National Historical Commission for its approval. November 3, 1571 was declared as Calibo Foundation Day by virtue of Municipal Ordinance Number 2005049 on October 6, 2005. And the certified true copy was recently given to your secretariat. To give us a glimpse of history, according to a research by Professor John Barrios, Aklan or Calibo was established in November 3, 1571 under the encomienda system during the time of first Governor and Captain General Miguel Lopez de Legazpi. It emerged that when Miguel Lopez de Legazpi arrived in 1569, he discovered that the town had around 2,000 inhabitants. On November 3, 1571, it became an encomienda. The research entitled Calibo, the founding of the town, stated that although Juan Fernandez Monogracias de los Pueblos de la Isla Panay points to 1581 as foundation year of Calibo, investigation would reveal that it was only the date of acceptance of the Augustinian fathers of the convent of Aklan and its respective visitas. It appeared in the notarized Spanish document dated June 2, 1576. Empirical evidence showed that on April 22, 1581, the town became a parish under the Augustinians. During the Spanish era, Calibo was part of Capiz. Late historian Roman de la Cruz said, The research output of Barrios is as close to reality based on the chronology of events, considering that the natives were Christianized in 1569, and it's logical that 3 years later, in 1571, Calibo was founded through an encomienda grant to Antonio Flores. This capital town recently celebrated its 451st founding anniversary last year. 4.5 centuries last year on November 3. It is high time that we institutionalize the Foundation Day through an act of Congress for the sake of permanency as we join the people of Calibo in marking the important milestone in their history. This will be time to reflect on the past, to remember their forefathers, and to revisit the ideas that led to the formation of their town. Let said upcoming occasion and every year thereafter be an opportunity to retell the stories of their struggles and sacrifices to younger generations, that they may honor their memory, preserve their heritage, and it would also incite the Bayanihan spirit within each of the Kalubunhons and would inspire them to harness their collective strength to make their beloved Calibo a place of peace and prosperity. Immediate approval of this bill is earnestly sought, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Senator
Chairman, I
Tolentino.
fully support the proposal, but I'd like to place it on record likewise, Mr. Chairman. During our lengthy plenary debates during the 18th Congress, the understanding is that a locality, an LGU, is entitled to have two maximum local holidays. And if I consider the situation of Calibo, this bill is specifically for Calibo, not Aklan, you have another one, the January 15, Ati-Atihan. So it will fit, Your Honor. So you will have two. So hindi po sobra, Mr. Chairman. Tama-tama lang po. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just for the record.
Yes, Senator Tolentino, we take note of that. So at least pasok siya rin sa 2 that will allow. So Congressman Marquez, thank you very much for joining us this morning. So we will now go to the other House bills. But before that, we would like to suspend the hearing so that we can have a photo op with those physically present para makabalik na sila sa House. So this hearing is suspended. Next House bill will be Araw ng Oriental Mindoro. House Bill number 2725 is Congressman Alfonso Umali is virtually present. You now have the floor.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Can you hear me?
Yes, boss, you can hear you but we cannot see you.
Ito,
Senator Tolentino and I want to see you. Please turn on your video, sir. Congressman Boy, thank you for joining us this morning. Yeah.
ayaw siya kumana eh. I've been pressing it pero
Di bali po, okay lang. Nabobosesa naman namin kayo. Kilala naman kayo namin.
anyway,
Sige, sir.
this is House Bill 2725, just like the others. It's declaring the November 15 as of every year as a special non-working holiday in the province of Oriental Mindoro, to be known as Araw ng Oriental Mindoro, in commemoration of its foundation anniversary. It also had passed the 18th Congress, but due to lack of time, Senate was not able to pass it. So same request from you, Mr. Chairman, at saka siyempre thank you kay Senator Tolentino rin for ano. It is earnestly hoped that this bill passed. So yun lang po, at magandang araw sa inyo, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Boy. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Salamat po, salamat.
Next is House Bill number 4839, Lapu-Lapu Charter Anniversary, sponsored by Representative Maria Cynthia Chan. Ma'am, you now have the floor.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, honorable senators, fellow members of the House of Representatives, guests, and resource persons. House Bill number 4839 seeks to declare June 17 of every year a special non-working holiday in the city of Lapu-Lapu in commemoration of its charter anniversary. So more than 61 years ago, the charter of the city of Lapu-Lapu, Republic Act number 3134, was signed into law by President Carlos P. Garcia. Every year, the city of government of Lapu-Lapu requests from the office of the president the declaration of June 17 as a special non-working holiday to allow its people, the almost 500,000 Oponganons, to celebrate and participate in its annual celebrations. Consequently, this representation seeks to legislate the declaration of the said date, our charter anniversary in our city, to do such annual request to the office of the president. This declaration is deemed beneficial to the city as it gives our people opportunity to take part in the commemoration of our city's historic founding. Thus, this representation requests for the immediate approval of House Bill number 4839. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Yes, thank you, Congresswoman Cindy Chan, Senator Tolentino.
Good morning, ma'am. I'm Buntag. Just one question. I'm full support of this measure. Tanong ko lang po, how many local holidays do you have right now, ma'am, in Lapu-Lapu?
None po.
Non-working special. Ma'am?
None po, Senator.
Wala
Wala
pa.
po.
So pasok na pasok po ito, ma'am. So we fully support this measure declaring June 17 every year as a special non-working holiday. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Senator Tolentino. Thank you also, Congresswoman Cindy Chan. So at least it's clear. Isa lang po ang inyo po. Wala pa kayo non-working holiday. So this will be very much qualified. Pasok na pasok po kayo. Thank you po. Next is House Bill number thank you, ma'am. House Bill number 5843 or the Pavia Day. Congressman Michael Goriseta of 2nd District of Iloilo is also virtually present. Congressman Goriseta, you now have the floor if you're online.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Chair. And first of all, I would like to thank you for taking into consideration my House Bill 5843. Of course, I would like to greet also our good Senator Francis Tolentino and to
Morning,
all
sir.
my colleagues in Congress and to our Senate Secretariat and to our resource speakers who are virtually and physically present to our guests. Good morning to all. Just like any House representative, I would like to give much recognition to our town, the municipality of Pavia, for its Foundation Day. And we give proper tribute to our forefathers and ancestors who made Pavia what is now today. The good Senator Francis Tolentino, Senator Tolentino, each very familiar because he was the one who brought the bust of Francis Burton Harrison to our town when he visited a few years ago. So in that note, I would like to ask to seek approval for the said House bill and its immediate passage into law. So thank you, Chairman JB, and to Senator Tolentino.
Thank you, Congressman Michael Goroseta. Just have an inquiry. When did Senator Tolentino bring the bus to your 50 years ago? Was that correct?
Few years ago.
3 years ago.
Few years ago, yeah.
Few years ago.
Okay, just want to make a clarification. Thank you. So, Senator Tolentino is here, recognized.
I fully support the efforts of Congressman Michael, and I think this is the first holiday of Pabia.
Yes, Senator. This is the first not working holiday. Wala pa sa holiday.
And it will bolster the local tourism industry likewise of your town, Congressman. So we fully support this measure.
Thank you again, Congressman Michael Goroseta. Maayong aga sa tanan, sa ating makasibanwa dira sa Pavia. So be rest assured of that we will already forward this already to the plenary for discussion. Thank you, Congressman Michael Goroseta.
Salamat.
Next, likewise, Congressman Claude Bautista and for House Bill number 3967 of declaring Santa Maria, Davao Day siguro ito. The speech and position paper will now be just inserted into the records. Nawalan sila ng internet, so the committee will just wait for the printed copy. And likewise, House Bill number 3978 of the Marikina City Day by Congresswoman Marjorie Ann Teodoro. The speech and position paper will likewise be inserted into the record. So the committee will just wait the printed copies. Next, we will hear the following agencies, the position, of course, yes, Senator Tolentino.
What about Mr. Chairman Dirac Catanduanes?
So those who were virtually present but siguro because of the problems with the Wi-Fi or the internet, we will just request them to submit their sponsorship speeches and position papers so that the committee will have the time also to go through them. Next will be ASEC Donnie Puno of the DILG for the DILG's position on these proposed bills for the local holidays.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Your Honor. The department fully supports all the bills declaring holidays in all the localities mentioned, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Asek Donnie. Sana ikaw lagi pinapadala para ganyan kabilis lahat ng ating hearing.
Natuto na tayo, Chairman, from the previous hearings where you told us that we should keep it brief. So we just abide.
Thank you also
Mr.
for
Chairman.
being always present here. Kayo na yung parang natin. Parang our in-house resource person for DILG. Thank you very much for being here, Asek Donnie Puno.
Yes, Chairman. Thank you.
Next is the DOLE's position. The chair would like to recognize Undersecretary Felipe Egargo Jr. Yusek Julie, please, you have the floor.
Sa ating mahal na chairman, Honorable GBF ito, sa ating mahal na Senador Francis Tolentino. The department supports the noble intention of the bills that seek to declare the certain days in a year as special non-working holidays or special working holidays in commemoration of significant local or national historical, cultural, religious, and special events. As a matter of fact, Mr. Chair, we have already submitted our position paper on this particular bills, and we defer to the plenary powers of the legislature to pass and approve these bills, subject to what we have submitted as our reservation in the implementation of these holidays bills. Thank you, Mr. Senator.
Thank you, Yusek Egargo. Senator Tolentino.
Just one question, Yusek. Ano po yung sinabi niyong subject to your quote-unquote? Ano po yung, were there second thoughts? Was there another computation?
Sabi namin, sir, sa Senator Tolentino, sabi namin doon sa aming position paper na kung maaari lamang ay instead of the declaration of non-working holidays, gawin na lang working holidays to minimize the economic impact. But we, as we have said, we always defer to the plenary power of the legislature. Kung ano ang ipinasa nilang bills, magsusuportahan po namin. Kaya lang, nagbigay lang kami ng aming comments dahil hinihingihan kami po ng comments ng Senado. Maraming salamat.
Yusek, you must have heard, with the permission of the chair, my earlier statement that whatever employer's compensation would have to be shouldered because of the declaration of a special non-working holiday can be compensated by the upsurge of economic activities. For instance, in Calibo, there will be more boat operators. There will be more restaurant owners opening their shops, and there will be more waiters. There will be more souvenir craft vendors, etc., etc. So this will all be compensated, and the economic upsurge is not just on the day itself, but even 3 days before. There will be pre-Calibo, for instance, pre-Calibo holiday events, concerts, more soft drinks to be delivered, more ice to be manufactured, etc., etc. So more flights to Calibo. So the whatever compensation, extra compensation that would be made by the employers can be recompensed by the economic activities that I've mentioned. I have a study concerning this. My office would probably be willing to provide you one. So, but just the same, thank you for recognizing the plenary powers of the Congress in matters such as this. Salamat, Yusek.
Salamat po, salamat po.
Thank you, Yusek. Juni Egargo, nice to see you present. No, former ano rin to. Kasama ko sa JCI, sa JCs po, si Juni Egargo. Thank you, our past president, Juni. Now, Yusek of the DOLE. Thank you for sharing us for your position. Next is supposedly National Historical Commission of the Philippines, but we will just wait for the submission of their position paper. So, we have also asked the LGUs concerned to send their position papers on the local holiday bills. If there are no other matters to be taken up, Senate Bill number 1681, and House Bill number 694, 925, 2725, 3966, 3967, 3970, 3976, 3977, 3978, 4839, and 5843 are hereby approved the committee and will be submitted to the plenary for deliberation. So now we move on para magtuloy-tuloy na po tayo. Senate Bill number 1638, creation of the Office of the Building Official in all provinces, cities, and municipalities. Authored by yours truly. So first we would like to ask the positions of the following agencies: the LG, DPWH, and the League of the Province of the Philippines, LPP. So now again, the chair would like to recognize for the position of the LG, ASEC Donnie Puno, regarding the bill creating the Office of the Building Official in all provinces, cities, and municipalities.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. The position of the department is that since this position will help in compliance with building codes, we fully support the measure, Mr. Chairman. No other comments, Mr. Chairman. That's it.
Okay. Di na ako nakahanap pahinga. Tapos ka na pala. Thank you. ASEC Donnie Puno. For always being very supportive of the bills in this committee. Next, we would like to hear from DPWH for your comments. Attorney John Alexander Belderol. Attorney, you now have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and members of the Honorable Committee. On behalf of the Department of Public Works and Highways, and I will be giving some details on our position. By the way, Honorable Chair, right now our position paper and comments are still in the process of being reviewed and discussed. We'll be submitting the same at some time. Right now, I can discuss a few specifics in our position, just 8 key points. First, this department supports the creation of the separate offices of the building official in the various cities and municipalities, subject to the test of expected workload. So we'll have to come up with a reasonable upper limit for that. And then second, we would like to also comment that there are parallel efforts in both houses of Congress, I believe, on the Philippine Building Act. So we would like to request that specific provisions be harmonized so that we'll have a uniform set of rules and regulations for this one. And then on the creation of the provincial building officials and the respective offices, right now we believe that such a position is a surplusage because it has no place in our existing administrative hierarchy, and it will only overlap with the duties and functions of the existing municipal and city building officials. So for the more substantive aspects, the details will be provided in the position paper. But generally, we would like to state that the office of the building official and the building official position is not, technically speaking, a local position, but it is a national position. So this has been settled recently by jurisprudence, and this has been the position of the Department of Justice. The building official is a national official, not a local official. And then they are subject to the appointment or designation of the DPWH secretary. Now, for the stated conflict between the duties, I believe the examples given, it's true that there are some conflicts, but principally one main source of conflict between the position of city and municipal engineer on one hand and the building official position on the other is that sometimes they are made to choose between the national building code and local regulations in force. Okay. With respect to the qualifications and the staffing pattern, these are provided by our existing National Building Code. That's Presidential Decree 1096 and is implementing rules and regulations. Now, as to the funding, we've done some preliminary studies on this one. And from what we can see, the proposed funding for these positions, which are normally sourced from the proceeds of the operations of the building official office, may not be enough for certain municipalities and cities. So maybe they will need to be supported by the appropriate appropriations. And then lastly, with respect to the revenue sharing out of the proceeds of the transactions involving the national building code. So we agree that the local governments can keep the 80%. With respect to the 20%, which currently is governed by the rules and regulations promulgated by our secretary, the present practice is 15% local or an office of the building official and 5% national. And if you're permitted, we would like to have that placed in the written in the law. The 15% will go to the office of the local building official and the 5% to the national government through the Department of Public Works and Highways. For the details and specifics, we will be submitting our position paper, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Attorney Belderol, for the position of DPWH. So, ang position nyo, just retain the building official under as a national position under the DP.
Yes, sir. To be more specific, sir, they are appointees of the secretary, and their functional hierarchy flows to the secretary through our office, the National Building Code Development Office.
Anyway, thank you. We just please submit your position paper so that we can go over it, no? And before we submit it to the technical working group, pag-usapan pa naman po ito. So, thank you very much, Attorney
Mr.
Belderon.
Chair.
Next will be the League of Provinces.
Yes,
Miss
good
Angelica
morning.
Sanchez, you now have the floor po.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Chair. So the League of Provinces of the Philippines would like to express reservations on the provision of the bill creating the Office of the Building Official at the provincial level, Mr. Chair. Firstly, as already mentioned by the DPWH representative, this is an appendage already to the functions kasi we do not deliver direct services insofar as building as far as building what they call this, the building code is concerned, Mr. Chair. So probably we would pass on the pass po muna kami dito on this provision of the bill, yung at least for the provinces, Mr. Chair. But I think we would support the creation of the Office of the Building Officials for cities and municipalities. That would be all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Please submit the official position paper of the League of Provinces of the Philippines to this committee. Thank you very much for your presence this morning.
We'll submit, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
So, thank you. Siguro okay na, Attorney. We now move on. So, we just inform you para masabi nyo rin po yung for the DW para po kailangan po kayo. Okay? So, next will be Senate Bill numbers 1245 and 1389 creating a mandatory position for a Human Resource Management Officer in local government units, authored by Senator Pimentel and Senator Revilla. So, now we would like to hear from the following agencies: the DILG, Civil Service Commission, League of Provinces, League of Cities, and League of Municipalities. So first, of course, our resident resource person, ASEC Donnie Puno of the DILG.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman. We share the DILG shares the opinion of the author that the creation of this position will positively impact the delivery of basic services of the local government unit, and for that reason alone, Mr. Chairman, we support the bill. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, ASEC Donnie Puno, for the position of DILG. Next will be Civil Service Commission, presented by Commissioner Eileen Lizada is here.
Chair, good morning, Chair. I'm present virtually po. Senator Ejercito, present po.
Yes, ma'am, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. First of all, we would like to show our appreciation to both Senator Coco Pimentel and Senator Bong Revilla, our chair for the Civil Service Committee, as well as for Congresswoman Margarita Nograles for sponsoring HB 4296. This is indeed a priority legislative agenda of the Civil Service Commission. We have likewise another version, and we have submitted the same to our chair for the Civil Service Committee, Senator. And we appreciate the efforts of both offices of Senator Coco and Senator Bong. We will be submitting our positions for our position paper to the committee for your consideration and appropriate action, Senator. Maraming salamat po. This is high time already that we need to do this for the LGUs po.
Thank you, Commissioner Eileen Lisada, for always being with us here, no? Kahit naman sa LTFRB pa hanggang ngayon, nandiyan pa rin kayo. Thank you very much for joining us this morning, ma'am.
Thank you rin po.
So siguro sa ano ba, si Attorney Jennifer Timbol, kayo po for civil service, no? He'll be representing the commission also for today, this morning.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Do you have any statement po before we go to the...
Yes, the Civil Service Commission, as mentioned by Commissioner Eileen Lourdes Lisada, fully supports this proposed Senate bills. We have particular comments on the qualifications as mentioned on Section 4. We'll put detailed, we simply request or we'll propose alignment with the qualification requirements as to experience, aligning it with 5 years and 3 years instead of the 3 and 2 as mentioned po sa proposed bills. And as to the other details, as to the benefits of the CSC as the appointing authority instead of the local chief executive, we will put in detail po yung aming pong position on that particular provision. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
But before we go, siguro what do you have, siguro si Commissioner Eileen or Attorney Timbol, what percentage or LG have local Human Resource Management Officer or HRMO? May alam niyo ba? Mayroon ka idea kung ilan percentage ng LGUs natin?
So po, to answer that particular question, Mr. Chair, way back in 2019, we conducted a survey. Out of the 1,000 plus respondents, around 40% have created po positions. But we noted that some of the positions created, yung pong mga appointees, are eventually reassigned. So yun po yung dilemma po in local government units. Sometimes politicized po yung mga yung pong pag-manage po ng mga department heads po natin. So it would all really help kung sakali pong may ganitong provision that the CSC may have a hand po sa appointments. And also in training HRMOs para po ma-upgrade po talaga ang competencies. Thank you, Your Honor.
So there are current programs that the CSC is implementing to capacitate the existing local HRMO. Meron naman ho kayong program.
Yes, Your Honor. We have a program called Prime HRM, Program to Institutionalize Meritocracy and Excellence in Human Resource Management. So part of that program po is capacitating our HRMOs, not only for local government units, but for the whole of government.
Siguro dito na will take advantage. Commissioner Eileen is online, andito rin po kayo. Kasi po yung nabanggit nyo kanina, Attorney Timbol, no, talagang that's a sad reality na pag local government, minsan talaga, hindi minsan madalas, politicized, no? Especially if there's a change of administration, minsan kahit qualified na mga department heads, talagang pinapalitan. So that disrupts, especially with HRMO, dapat to professional, di ba? Pang-professionalize, no? So, ang tanong ko lang, Senate Bill numbers 1245 and 1389 differ in designation of plantilla for the HRM personnel. Under Senate Bill number 1245, the position shall be included in the plantilla for personnel under CSC. No? While under Senate Bill number 1389, it shall be included in the plantilla personnel in the LGU concerned. So ano pong recommendation ng CSC with respect to this matter? Siguro si Commissioner Eileen Lisada, nandiyan na rin po lang kayo. Kasi nabanggit ni Attorney Timbol, talagang dilemma ito eh. Lalo na for political purposes, no? Nangyayari ito na how can be professionalized kung laging nasa subject at naapektuhan siya ng politika. So will it be under CSC, yung plantilla of HRMO, or sa local government? Ano po ang inyo pong recommendation?
Senator, may I?
Yes, ma'am. Commissioner Elisada.
Thank you po. Salamat po sa pag-raise din. Just like the BLGF, Senator, kung aware kayo sa mga treasurers, their plantilla is under the LGU, but they are under the supervision ng DOF, BLGF. So we protect the coffers of government, and I hope that we will look at our human resource as well as another source of treasure that we need to protect. That's why we are saying plantilla in the local government unit, but under the supervision po, no? Like that's why we're saying to be appointed by the CSC chair, so that even if the local chief executive, meron ho silang gustong i-recommend, pwede naman ho, but not yung arbitrarily, because we have heard a lot na ang iba ho talaga literally tinatapon at nilalagay sa ibang lugar. But there are mangilan-ngilan ho, but we would like to avoid that so that whatever gains we have in our workshops and trainings that we give to the HR, tuloy-tuloy lang po, so that there will be order. So yun ho yung sa amin, sana sa LGU, just like the BLGF, DOF, the treasurers po, they are under the supervision of the DOF.
Thank you. Actually, that's really a valid concern po yun, no? Sometimes in our own experience, we develop yung aming mga locals, yung mga local talents, no? As department heads, pinag-masters namin, PhD, lahat ng qualification. Kaya lang, when there was a change of administration, kawawa yung mga namin, yung mga locals. Kahit na they're qualified, tapos pinagpapalitan ng mga kung saan-saan galing. Siyempre, iba yung malasakit pag taga doon ka mismo di ba? And I hope that this would help also yung mga sinabi po ni Commissioner Eileen, that yung professionalization is very important. Tama kayo, HRMO, considered na rin niya parang as a treasurer, no? Na parang yaman yan Our people are in fact our most precious resource, no? One of our most precious resource. So thank you very much for your position. So Attorney Timbol, thank you po, and Commissioner Eileen, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Next is sa League of Provinces, and submit na lang po yung official position paper to the committee. Sige po, Attorney Timbol, okay na po tayo. League of Provinces.
Yes, good morning again, Mr. Chair. So the League of Provinces of the Philippines support the institutionalization of the Office of the Human Resource Management Office. However, Mr. Chair, yes, we heard the comments from the CSC. We have to bring this up with our principals kasi under the principles of devolution, Mr. Chair, dapat sana pera ng LGUs, pondo ng LGUs. So the LGUs, particularly the local chief executives, would have the prerogative or would have the power to appoint the designated officials. I think, Mr. Chair, one of the one of the safeguards here, Mr. Chair, is the institutionalization of the position. So alam naman po natin, totoo naman po, nangyayari rin minsan na kapag nagkaroon ng changes in administration, may ibang mga department heads, yung ating mga na-train na mga personnel sa LGUs natatapon kung saan-saan. However, if the position is institutionalized, may plantilla na pong klaro, I think that is also one safeguard, Mr. Chair. So we will be submitting our formal position paper very soon, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Ms. Angelica Sanchez, siguro tanong lang natin, yung mga LGUs do you conduct human resource development planning and adopt a human resource development plan? Ang provinces, meron naman hong plano.
Yes, meron naman, Mr. Chair.
So we attract local talents as well, no? Yung the LGUs. Kasi nga sabi ko nga po in my experience, iba yung malasakit nung talagang tiga doon kaysa yung imported. No, gano'n na nangyari sa amin doon ngayon sa imported na yung department heads, mga dayuhan. 'Di ba? So iba yung malasakit talaga ng tiga doon, yung homegrown ika nga, and develop. So we have to encourage homegrown talents and improve on them. So thank you for your position, and please submit your official position on this proposed bills po. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Likewise, League of Cities and League of Municipalities, we invited, but they're not here, but they will just be submitting their position papers on these matters, on these bills, no? Senate Bill number 1245 and 1389. Anyway, the committee chair would like to thank everyone who took part and took time to attend today's committee hearing. I would like to thank our district representatives who were here a while ago, as well as our resource person, Asik Donnie Puno, Attorney Timbol, Attorney John Belderol, Since there are no more matters to be taken up, the chair adjourns this committee. Maraming salamat po.